Tweets, posts, likes, comments, whatever it may be, social networking is always a topic of conversation. It seems like every day you have to check your Facebook or your Twitter or whatever social networking site in order to keep up with what your friends are doing. But is all this social networking a good thing, or is it turning kids today into socially awkward people who live vicariously through their phones? My name is DeLucia, and yes, I do have a Twitter, a Facebook, and an Instagram. But today, in my unbiased opinion, I'm going to try to tell you guys a little bit about social networking, its history, and how I think it brings more than just status updates from your friends. And ultimately, I'm going to try to convince you guys that it is in fact a good thing, and it's benefiting our generation and not hurting it. Starting with the history of social networking, an article done by the University of North Carolina Pembroke talking about the history of social networking says that the first email was delivered in 1971. And that's a historic moment and set the tone for internet communication for the future. And as technology progressed and things got more advanced, it picked up. But the biggest kickstart to social networking was probably AOL in 1997, which was a site that allowed users to chat instantly via the internet, kind of like texting. It was a huge hit back then because in 1997 people didn't really text back then. So it got very popular and it got people excited about internet communication. And then in 2003 when MySpace came out, people were hooked because MySpace was a site that allowed users to basically do the same thing and communicate with their friends, but it also let them customize their own web page and talk with their friends while they're listening to their music, and it also gave news and current events. So people really got the whole, that was the first website that really allowed users to get the whole online experience. And as MySpace progressed and became so popular, other companies started to create their social networking websites and get on this huge, what was becoming $1 million industry. And that's where we see the growth of websites such as Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and things like that. This industry has continued to progress, and now we're here in 2014 with 1.28 billion Facebook users and 25% of the planet's population active on some kind of social networking site. But is all this activity a good thing? That's a good question. Some would argue that it's bad, that people are always on the internet and people no longer get out of the house to actually go meet people, but I would argue otherwise. There's a few benefits of social networking. It has many benefits, but today I'm just going to discuss what I feel are the biggest positives from social networking. The spread of news and information, the allowance of people to make friends and improve the relationship with their current friends, and then also social networking has helped to stimulate the economy and create jobs as well. So starting with the spread of news and information, according to socialnetworkingprocon.org, we can see that over 50% of people learn about breaking news on social media, and 65% of reporters and editors use social networking to research stories and find facts and details. The social networking has allowed news to reach people faster, and it puts news in places where people of all ages will read it and want to hear it because they're already on there talking to their friends and building those relationships, and then they also have news right there in front of them as well. So instead of having to turn on the TV and go to CNN, you have everything you need right there. And it even helps law enforcement catch and prosecute criminals because they find people through social networking. So that's how it can improve, or that's how it can spread the news and information. And it can also improve friendships and allow people to make new friends. Procon.org also showed that 70% of adult users visit social networking to connect with their family and friends, and 88% of teens report that social networking helps them stay in touch with their friends that they can't regularly see, and it also helps them to get to know students better at school. Social networking sites like Facebook allow users to create and join groups such as school groups or teams, soccer teams, sports teams, that allows users to identify with other users and help people connect in ways that they might not have connected otherwise. Social networking has also helped employers find employees and has helped create jobs, which in turn helps to stimulate the economy. Every company these days has a page on social networking to help promote their business and also to give people specials and promotions to get them to come out. And all of these pages need people to run them and to help to promote the websites. This industry has created thousands of jobs, and according to a McKinsey Global Institute study project, the industry of social networking adds between $900 billion and $1.3 trillion to the economy. This is a huge amount of money, and it's stimulated several kinds of ways, with a large portion of that coming from advertising. As companies will pay huge amounts of money to get their name out there all over the internet, and social networking is one of the best places to do that because, as I said earlier, there's so many people out there that are active users. As I said earlier, 25% of the world's population is active on some kind of social media. So in conclusion, just want to say thank you for letting me have this opportunity to share a little bit with you, the social networking history, and a little bit about why it's beneficial to the world we live in today. And I'm sure I'll see you around the internet, and as obviously you're viewing this on the internet, so if you're not an active social media user, I would just say don't be afraid to get out there and try it and catch up with some friends. And I hope that I've convinced you that social networking is not just a bad thing, but it actually is a good thing, and it's a helpful thing to our world that we live in today and our economy. So thank you.